is Saturday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. Now, Curse City has just reset into a new rotation about 10 or so minutes ago, and while there is champion training on as part of the 4 Thayhammer fusion, alongside Dungeon Divers for if you're leveling stuff in campaign instead of just using brewers and chickens, now is as good a time as any as to review what is in Hard Soulcross, or just a few other stages that might be difficult in general. Like, there's a few in late, I think it's Dead Rise or Plague Home, the one that's on the right side, and then just Amius for Lunar Archon on both difficulties. So, beginning with this, once it loads, it takes a second for some reason. We're going to go through each of the Soulcross hard stages and note what we are allowed to use in terms of what we're not allowed to use, because, as you know, good in Curse City equals you literally not use anything else. So beginning with stage 1, well, you can read these, but you're given more than enough to work with in terms of legendaries. And I think there's some mythicals you can use as well. So if you have those, like Lazaria, Seafin, etc. But otherwise, there's Ronda, there's Royal Guards, there's probably a starter, and you should be able to one-shot everything within pretty soon order. The only hard wave is last one because it's 2 Torments, but past that you'll probably be fine. S2 is more of the same. Hefrak does solo this if you have them. If you have Scorrid the Half-Spawn from the previous fusion, you know, which I pulled yesterday, or just, again, Allures for turn meter control or whatever else you have. As for Cyan, yeah, I used him for Amias once. He wasn't bad, actually. S3 is, again, magic attack. This is a very magic attack rotation. Ninja can freeze the entire wave. You almost definitely have him. They gave him to everyone. Yes, Ray. Zenoga should be able to single target down anything at all. And yeah, this one is a little bit more awkward in terms of champion pool. Also, in terms of rares, don't underestimate Judge here, because his A2 is a double hit that gives him turn meter and everything. So against a full wave, he's going to take a full turn, and in the stun set, he's really good here. So S4 is Void. This one you're going to have no trouble with at all. Pretty much any stage you'll have to use Voids, because their power level on average is so much higher than the rest. So Iron Twins was nerfed, and many of the effect nerfs have carried over here, even if they didn't really weaken its stats. So it's going to cleanse less often, put less Iron Brand stacks on you, and deal less damage from that. But you're given support is broken, so yeah, you'll be fine. S6. This one is, well, a bit awkward, given how you're only allowed Demon Spawn, Sylvan, and what's the other one? Oh, Shadow Kim. If you have Kyoku, then she's probably going to solo this. Helicaf does a great job. Duchess does a lot. This guy has an A1, which is AoE, so you can give him a stun set if you want. But the first wave does have Leorius, so try not to just hit into his passive too much, otherwise you kill everything. Otherwise, you have simple revivers like this one, etc. I'll go through what else there is in those factions really quick in terms of spirit defense and support. As you can tell, my champion pool isn't the greatest, so it really is just Kyoku, and because I have most epics in the game. Check here, no one, and check here. Yeah, you can use Firil and Pedrig. Now, Firil is great here because the block buff stops Leoris' passive dead, and also Lady of Iroth was buffed, and she now has this CDR to free turn, so you have that going for you. Otherwise, you'll find a way. I have faith. Besides, the stat blow isn't too much at first, it's only later on. S7 is you're allowed to use what's this? Barbarian, Sacred Order, Night Revenants. So if you have the Starfist and Elder Skarg, I'll use both of these. Errol will pretty much delete anything if you have him. Otherwise, Rector's a great healer support. Alika can lock down an entire team. Sinesh's got AoE, stun. Doom Priest is cleanse, increased attack, and I'll check if there's any others. 1 second. Okay, so it was Sacred Order. Abyss if you have her. High Mother Mold if you have her, but I doubt you do. Barbarians. I believe it was attack and support, so you're not allowed to use Alaz here. Xena if you have her. Mother Sibyl is great in a stun set because A on AoE. Favor to Mangel, I have her in a portal. I don't see myself taking her out of list, but she is an option. And epics are epics, so because you oops, that's some siege. We lost by the way. Someone had a very nasty all support defense, and we didn't have anyone who has ways to compete with that. S8 is this is one way you're only allowed to use Resin Epics, so this guy is going to be crucial. If you get him, keep him, level him. In fact, maybe even level a second. He's good enough to have 2 of them, honestly. He's definitely on the upper ends like that. Yaga is actually a 6-star. He actually hits pretty hard, so I'll put Baron's Gear in him and then just delete a single thing. Otherwise, this is your revive and increase attack for Diaphy, etc. And this is your way to divert Aiken damage. Obviously, unless you're really overgeared to the point where you're watching this for comedy more than anything else, those people who don't have plus for everything, then it's always the middle of a month where they have the free V-gear, and then you can just do Soulcross them because it's less than 32 stages and you can do 8 keys a day. So going on to, we'll just do these in order and do the Awakened stages last. So Sun Devil is only allowed HP and support here between, what's this, Sylvan, Barbarians, Night Revenant. So the thing here is, the easiest way to do it is soloing with Reds, because he cannot critical on Red Affinity, but otherwise he's going to hit so hard that he blows through all of them. So to look at HP support, etc., obviously Barbarians means if you have Alaz the Sunbearer as a mythical, then great, you can just put him there by himself and Sun Devil is never ever going to kill him. But we're going to look through the others. So in terms of HP support, if you do have Seisha, if you do have her, then she's actually useful here. The HP burn when he's asleep, he can't kill her because she's Red Affinity. Although for these, you are going to need a bit over 100,000 HP, and Regeneration Immortal sets should keep healing over and over. Glaciad, well, he doesn't really do much damage by himself, so we're more looking at someone who can either be in Brimstone or have some kind of fixed damage. Eostrid doesn't really do that. Obviously, I mentioned Alaz. He makes this laughably easy. And then what was last faction? It was Night Revenants, wasn't it? So Night Revenants doesn't really have too much in this regard. Unless you're going to... Do any of these have HP burn? In fact, let me check the others in case there are HP burns in this. No, and check Barbarians. It was support and HP, so... no, there isn't. So you have to probably get a little bit creative. You're allowed voids, you'll be fine. S11 is... It's force only, between 4 factions. But you are allowed Doom Priest, who is going to make anything against Nether Spider much easier. You have Mordecai, who can just set fire to everything and not perform counterattacks, because it's just a place. And you can either just like kill all the spiderlings with Flessie and deal with them that way, or you can just tank it out with Mordecai and a bunch of healer supports. So you should be fine for this one. S12, Magic Defense Support. If you have Lazarius, you can use him here. Same for Gizmak, because they are half support. Otherwise, Alt-10 does decent damage if you have him built. I wouldn't book him for it. I won't book any weirdos. Otherwise, you can just use these. If you build them in crit, then they have decreased defense, and you can stun everyone as well with like stun sets. But when they're just poisons, the only issue here is they buff Jingwon, so he's gonna make it a bit awkward. So really, anyone who has Lazarus or Gizmak is going to be laughing at this. So to check if there's anything else that you can use for this regard, we'll go through each faction. Oh yeah, you can use our mans. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right. Okay. Yeah. Right. I was trying to forget he existed. S13 magic attack. You've got plenty of choices here. Oh, do you have Aphidus? He's getting buffed soon. You can use him here. Otherwise, yeah, Rotos kills everything, and it's not even close. Otherwise, Dark Helheim is pretty good. Other ones, you're given a fair bit of choice here. Yeah, you'll be fine. 14. Now this one is difficult because there are Valkyries and other anti-reds here. I can't remember who it is, but it is not particularly ones you would like to face. I think it might have been Nagash. And you're limited to HP and support. Now, if you have Alaz, again, he kills everything. I don't know why I'm bothering to mention Mythicals, but I suppose there are people who don't really spend, but have ended up getting a couple Mythicals over time, and are thinking of extra ways to use them. Deliana in stun sets should be able to... Well, one can block buffs so that he can't place fist block debuffs, and the rest can just, well, try and stun. Otherwise, Mordecai burns everything down, and you have heals and revives here. So, is there anything else? Oh, okay, again, so if you have High Mother Meld for whatever reason, then you can use her. Oh, High Elves. If you have Star Sage... I mean, honestly, if you have Star Sage, you can just fall asleep at the keyboard and the game is all won. So, yeah, he is the Chase Mythical after all. I don't think there's much more to be said there. 15. Now, I've got quite a lot to choose for here. They give you 4 factions and over attack and HP. And in terms of multi-hitters... I'm not going to pretend you have Teox because you probably don't, but to go through epics because that's a lot easier. Fenshi is really underrated here because triple hit A1 that can place decreased speed to get through Fire Knight Shield. You do have HP burns, like Ninja is obviously very good here if you have him. And I'm just like scrolling through at this point without any real direction. I don't think there's anyone past here who would ever want to use. And again, Scourge can potentially work to a certain amount. However, I think he single hits. Fushan has a quad hit and a speed aura. And honestly, I think it should be fine. Also, Ramontu is very good here as well. Not a Rost. Vassal, decent as HP burn and also as a healer. He just equalizes everyone's HP. And Karato Foxhunt was a previous fusion. Triple hit A1, decent damage. You'll think of something. I have faith in you. Next is S16. S16, you're allowed voids, including Arbiter. if you get Tobin for free at some point from the Christmas not fusion, you should be fine here. 17 is the hard mode Fire Knight. Now, this was a fusion, this was a fusion. These are both triple hitters who have ways to drop his turn meter. Altan is a single hit, but he's an increased defense with faultless defense. So if people hit under increased defense, that's gonna take 5 hits off the shield. And obviously, Skull Crusher counterattacks with triple hits like this will get through the shield in very short order, and it's just working from there. In terms of epics, you're not given too much to work with here, but I think like if you have both of these or not is going to be the filter in terms of this stage. S18 is you're only allowed these 3 factions: Ogrin, Barbarian, Shadowkin. I don't have much choice here, so I'm probably going to have to level Elder Skarg and then someone else, but I will check who else there is for you. I'm not interested, skins are way too expensive. So 4th attack, there is Nobel, who has been buffed twice now. Honestly, he's better now than he was before, and definitely in terms of wave control, so build him, don't book him, don't give him masteries, he's still not that great. Barbarians, if you have Xena, sure, it was only attack, wasn't it? And what was the 3rd faction? I've forgotten already. I am deeply sorry, my memory is very bad. Oh, Ogrin tribes. Oh yeah, you know how I mentioned Shatterbones yesterday? Well, he's actually pretty good here. He can cut the entire turn meter back down to 0. He's got some way to speed up and slow him down, but it's not fantastic. And is there anyone else who you're allowed to use here? No, there isn't. So you're going to have to get a bit creative there, I think. But I'll definitely put Elder Skarg on the to-do list this time around. S19 is the one that makes you face Taras Marichka on the first wave and then Jingwon's Harima Lockout on the other, and you're not allowed your legendaries. So what do? You're gonna need Dyfis, probably 2 of them, maybe Akoff, who can freeze them, whose defense equal higher attack. Although the issue is that you can't use this against Marichka first wave because she has her block damage. And Oathbound can be some kind of control champion because he's got 2 ways to hinder them. And is there anyone else at all? And then it may just be having to use epics like this who have freezers, or actually his single target is not that good, or just stun sets like Nazana or Infernal Baroness. Although Infernal Baroness is better because her A2 has decreased attack and does okay damage but nothing too great. But really this one is going to be awkward, and I think I'm going to level a second Mistrided Ivy for this one to have even the faintest chance of beating it. Pardon me. S20, you're allowed 4, so you are allowed Lady Mikage here, who I have. But you're going to be struggling for damage a bit because it's defense and support. So let's check these factions. What else is there in terms of defense and support in Red Affinity? So the stuff there is nothing really here. Shadowkin, right? Oh yeah, Harima. If you have Harima, this is much easier. It did allow defense, right? Was it defense and support? Sorry, this is the second time now that I've gotten a grand total of 3 things over 3. Yeah, Shadowkin, defense support, and the last one is Ogrin tribes. Are we allowed anything in Ogrin tribes in terms of defense support? Gerda does have poison, so don't underestimate her for this in terms of keep your team alive and slowly whittling them down. Although second wave can be a lot of issue regardless, because you have to CC at 1 down 100-0, or you just die horribly. And again, obviously, I think anyone who has a good Mikage and Harima is going to be relying on those, because they will eventually kill it, because Harima scales up way too much. But anyway, S21 is the other one that's really awkward, because this one has double Mortu in the first wave, but luckily for you, this one's easy this time. Ramontu you get for free, blocks Mortu's passives, Marias, percent damages them all down, and then you get plenty of good Void Edge moves this time around. Not too much else, but I think that you should be fine just between this and whatever else you have. And Bash is lockout, so yeah, you'll be fine. Okay, S22 is the last one of this. Magic. So this one is going to be speed up your team with Morrigan, blow them all up using like Lazarius, Aphidus, not Rotos, because clones of him do not go down easily. And this is what now? Night Revenant. I think there's a few decent traits you have there, but it's pretty much just going to be these two or whatever mythical you have. Dragon Wolf to drop all defenses, and then just try and kill this really quickly, because this is not going to do much, because this one's pretty weak. Okay, moving on to the Awakened stages. So you give them, well, support and a lot. These are more just blessing checks than roster checks. You have a filthy amount of champions available, and the same goes for either of these, but I'll show you what it is regardless in case you want to make a note in terms of who you might not have. And the last one, all these are supports, so you should be fine. Now, to go into a few awkward stages in late Plagueholm, because these ones are all really easy, but these ones can be a bit awkward. Not this one, this allows 4 factions, but this one normally only allows HP from 3 factions, awkward ones. So this is if you have Alsgore, Throlny, or just whatever other decent HP is in here. I don't. I'm going to have to very, very slowly kill this by using Road Painted and Melga, and then this is my best HP gear and this is my best attack gear. But apart from the fact that waves 2 is brick walls, then you'll be fine. Okay, this one is laughable this time around. There's Ragash, there's Marias, there's a bunch of others. You will be fine. Okay, again, this was trivial given what it's sort of allowed. And yeah, even the epics and stuff you're allowed to find. So, and then to go over to this one. I don't remember what I used this last time. I think it was Destroy set, Bolster set, Hero here, and then just slow whittled it down. But Volva Destroyer is good against this because his A3 will destroy their max HP, so you'll cut it down really quickly. And then it's just dealing with all the spiderlings before they burn you down that way. So, to go on to normal Amias, because anything else in normal is trivial. You're allowed, well, Dwarves, Lizardmen, Sacred Order, Barbarians, and Night Revenant, which gives you a very generous choice, and yeah, you'll be fine. This one, honestly, I think people who struggle with normal is more due to gear than roster, because he's not much weaker than hard in terms of overall stat product. So yeah, and on to hard, it is what we allowed. Okay, so it's the comp I had to use the very, very first time around, but now I've got a better cold heart in terms of blessing quality, or I could just change over to Queen Eva if I really needed the what's the word, heal reduction. But what I might do this time around is I might just have 2 Lizardmen and Teox and just try and just brute force him down, because I don't have to worry about killing him in alt phase, because this is permadeath, this is permadeath, and oh yeah, you can even use Marias, who is 15% max HP damage to the boss. So you're only going to struggle with this if you just a sort of a point where you're just barely getting through, and you're probably not making too much headway in a Soulcross because your overall gear or account quality isn't quite there yet. Now, obviously, as for anything else in Curse City, do what you can, leave what you can't. Karnage is... he's good, but from everyone who does have him, they don't pick him every single time. He is very much a 5% pick rate, 90% win or ban rate champion. And the 5% is really when he just jumps out you as, oh, they don't have much polymorph or a few things that he's good into, because otherwise he kind of struggles into the arena metas. And yeah, so that's kind of all of that for now. Check for all of these either in your own time or just by having listened to myself hop on for ages. Make a note of who to level up during the champ trainings, if you're doing a fusion or not. You have about half a month before the 3-week year, which is when you should hopefully have all your champions sorted. And yeah, so until then, I'm done, and see ya.